Welcome back, everybody, to Rimworld. Thank you for bearing with me over the past few days while I had to basically go and travel. And some of the technical limitations, of course, yesterday that we uncovered very quickly, where we managed to bring Rimworld to its knees and turn it into a PowerPoint show. Obviously, there was the issue of the ships being unsalvageable, which was a very minor issue. I completely didn't notice it, but many of you pointed out the fact that there was anti in the filter bar for getting stuff off the ship, which I guess is kind of my fault, but I also don't want to take too much fault for that, bearing in mind the frigging ship filter took it from the torpedo launcher, which is not really something I imagined would have ever been a problem. So, kind of my bad. But a little bit bullshit either way. Anyway, here we are, back in the land of Rimworld. So what have I done in the meantime? Sorry, I've already recorded basically this episode once before as well, to add on to my mountain of shit that I've had to deal with this game recently. Already recorded this episode, and my microphone was boosted up by 10 decibels, so I sounded like I was shouting in your ear, with my lips pressed right up against it. Anyway, what was I talking about? Sorry, I've explained this all once before, so bear with me if I forget anything here. So I put down, obviously, some more pods here for bedrooms and shit for our people, just basically to keep them as happy as possible. We've got a high circuit running in, because of course we do, and a giant smoke cloud, which is no relevance, because we don't care about temperature, or daylight, or anything. We're on an ice cap. That's the least of our concerns. But I've tried to put down some more bedrooms to keep everyone happy. I'm trying to kick everyone out of that kind of barracks area. So you've got one unowned bed there. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 unowned beds. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, well, that works out quite well. And then we can turn this room back into whatever we want if we want to go for another recreation room or something like that. That's more than fine. What else did I do? Oh, right. Poor old Ironhead, no matter what parallel universe he's dragged into here, no matter what timeline or reloading from different save games we go for, he can never hang on to that Arc-hotech wrench because I've smelted it down again so that we can build more of these friggin' things. Because the last thing we want to do is design a spaceship, then be waiting 15 episodes just to get enough Arc-hotech to polish the floors. So I've decided we'll put down these as early as possible, get rid of the wrench once again, and swap that out for more of these things. But again, we're going to be able to build another 5 in 3.1 days from that one. You've got 6.2, 5.1 on that one as well. So won't be long before we can actually bring in a good chunk of Arc-hotech. I don't know how much we've got left. I optimized these too. I optimized the assembler so they were getting exactly kind of what we needed at different points in time. Besides that, I think everything's basically how we left off. Oh, they finished the prison and finished the decoys. That's basically it. So one thing of note, I was kind of thinking that what we'll do is we'll finish off the Arc-hotech weaponry research. We'll finish off the nanotech research. And then we won't bother with Arc-hotech Absolution because that's going to take a very long time, bearing in mind the actual number there. And then we've also got Arc-hotech Essential, which unlocks Ascended Arc-hotech, which is an absurd amount of research. Actually, not as much as this one, though, for reasons. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros? You'd assume so, by the fact that it is 9 to the 8. That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of numbers. That's like 90 million research, which is pretty absurd. Going to take us quite some time. As a result of that, one thing I was planning on doing when we get these finished up is put down some more research tables, more Arc-hotech research tables, and have everyone research as a backup job. Like, literally everybody. The same way we train everyone to be good builders by having everybody do the building for the ship and not really caring about the resource loss, because we don't care about resource loss. We could do kind of the same thing with that, where they haven't really got much else to do right now, because everything's fairly automated. Like, all their needs are dealt with, their meals are cooked, their crops are grown. So they're pretty happy. We've built kind of a nice cave paradise. Kind of design ethos going forward is going to be small and powerful. Unlike last time when we went big and inefficient, but has everything going for it. That did not, the game did not like that. We need to really go for completely the opposite, where we are massively refined, where we're only growing maybe 1, 2 types of crop and as many meals as we only need in the moment. Things like that. Bedrooms, much smaller. Last time we basically had a luxury hotel paved with gold. Now we can't. We need gunships. We need weapons. We're here to fight now, not just float around on our big luxury space station like Wally, basically. Didn't one of these just generate some? I assume we've got way more Arc-hotech than I realized, because we put that down yesterday, and none of them are near completion, so I could only assume one has recently spat some out. Actually, hang on. Hey, look, we can build the research toolbox. Alright, so we've got at least 50 Arc-hotech. I know I could check in the machine, but I like to guess. What does that do specifically for the research speed, I wonder? Let's go ahead and take a look in the actual tab, then we can see the information on it. Research toolbox. 5 per workbench. Hell, we might not need to One, it needs to be honest, research speed isn't a limiting factor right now. It is the amount of Arc-matter we've got. So I think I would rather use that Arc-matter to put down a load more of these. I think that's a much better use of it. So we'll fill as much of this area as possible with Arc-matter, and then we'll kind of go from there. I need to stagger it. I assume they have to... Actually, if they're walkable, we could quite literally just ram the room full of it. It's the wrong shape. Okay, before I get carried away then, let's put down an Arc-matter building. We could fill this kind of dead space down here with room for these things. What size are they? They're 2x2. So if we build an equal size circle rather than an odd size circle, which is going to look horrible when compared to the equal size circle. So if we do something like... Oh, that's never going to line up though. That's vile. I know it says 3x18. Ignore it. It quite clearly doesn't. Oh, I hate that. Hang on, let me think of how we're going to make this not look like complete shit. Oh, another mod I actually enabled was minify everything. Now, I don't normally use that mod because it can have some weird conflicts. Like, for example, reinstalling wind turbines, you obviously require a reload of the save to actually get them to work. Didn't know if there'd be some other weird, strange things like that going on. But as long as we just reload, you know, after whenever we've used it, we're basically going to catch any problems that might come out of that. But I figured if we're planning out the ship, we've got a lot of things we don't really know how they work yet. A lot of kind of sizes that I don't know. Like for example, the large heat cores, do they consistently get bigger and bigger? Like obviously, capital heat core is bigger than regular heat core, but the Ultra-Tech heat core then shrinks down again. Is that going to be true of the next one, or is it going to be larger again? So the ability to reinstall things on the fly based on the design at the time is going to be actually pretty helpful. So we're going to stick with that. I still haven't decided how the fuck we're going to do this, and I hate it. Let's just put down. I'm gonna put a circle down, right? And then I'm going to plan it out from there. Okay, I've got an idea. I like this. Hang on, bear with me. Horrendous, but it does line up, and that's all that matters in life. In fact, we could go ahead and take out these middle blocks and replace them with just pathways, to be fair. We don't need to kind of cordon the entire bloody thing off like that, do we? Let's do something like that, and then something like that. There you go. Incredible. And then we've got doorways in as well. Perfect. And then, you know, kind of ways to get around the room. That's all that's important. We could put double airlocks on it to make it look fancy. Ooh, I mean, very daring this series. That door's really useful. Big fan of this one right here. I might just go ahead and take all this crap away. Oh, but then it doesn't line up. Shit. Damn it. I've been bamboozled. Okay, hang on. There's got to be a way I can fix this. Is that overkill? You betcha, probably. That's 25 times 120, which is... hang on, I can work this out. 25 times 120. Oh, I would guess that's probably roughly 3,000. Just off the top of my head, so don't check the maths on that. How are we looking there? So this is going to take bloody ages, right? Because these things are 3,000 steel and 3,000 plasteel apiece. That's 120 times 3,000. That's like, oh man, a big number. Definitely at least 300. Hungry? What the hell did you expect? What are you all the way up there for? Wait, did you grab a bed up here or something? Well, there aren't any beds to grab. I have no idea. Oh my god, were you getting steel from the IEO ports in the maintenance room? Wow, I really have no idea. That's bizarre. Still playing on Blood and Dust as well, by the way, on Cassandra. I'm a little bit afraid to increase the difficulty, bearing in mind we saw kind of what is in store for us in that second episode, something like that, when we got raided by one of the factions. That wasn't supposed to be raiding us yet. It was an incompatibility with like vanilla factions expanded or something like that, adding them in kind of preemptively. What are they called? The green-looking guys on the map. But those guys seem mighty strong. Eli's Wolverines. Yeah, I don't really want to be fighting them in any sort of hurry. So we're probably just gonna wait off on the difficulty to see how the first ones act. I know I normally like playing on some of the higher ones because then I can complain about things and act like it's not my fault. But this time I feel like we're gonna have to be a bit more cautious. Otherwise, it's just gonna be another unnecessary setback in a series of unnecessary setbacks. We need street lights, don't we? We need something outside to light this place up. Outdoor lamp, that'll fucking do. Okay, let's put down a few of these then. Make this place look a bit more homely. Because I was just thinking how bloody dark everything is at nighttime, especially with that smoke spewer too. It's like really compounding a pretty big issue there. Put some of these around. Make it into a nice, safe neighborhood. Bugs. Oh, God, how many? You can't do that. You can't do that. That's illegal. Although, out of all the places for the insects to land, that's not terrible. The only problem is it means we can't shoot our mortars or auto mortars at them, or artillery. Although, I guess them falling into the kill box is pretty much a best case scenario, right? Well, let's see how they get on. I think we're doing a pretty good job. The fucking flame turrets are absurd. They have just annihilated them in no time. Look at that. That's really funny. We should probably send in our squad to go turn it. What I also need to do is craft everybody a gun, because we've got, like, almost all of the squad here unarmed. Just going to go ahead and lock these doors, because I can see our people rushing over to go and get mauled. Oh, an opportunity to die. Don't mind if I do. It's unfortunately, there's no ship engines for them to go and throw themselves into this time around. Oh, my turrets. Well, it's a small price to pay, I guess. Jesus, the flame turrets are just giving it hell. Wow. Just absolutely pure chaos, but I think our turrets have actually done it. There's like one mega spider, I think, left kicking around there. And it's not going to take long to set him on fire. You had to do it, didn't you? You had to find a way in. You just had to... people just can't fucking help yourselves. Even though I've said quite clearly inside the walls and I've forbidden the doors, they still have to try and find a way to sneak in. If you step on one of those bombs, I hope that landmine shoots you into orbit. Okay, please don't actually step on that, though. That would suck. Ironhead gave up. Ironhead gave up on this luxury. Right, you can sit and think about what you've done. Release. Right, you can go now. Thank you. I think you've thought enough about what you've done. Now you can go. I love that that's what it takes. How dare you give up on us? Now you're going to sit in this filthy room. You know what? You make a compelling point. God, these people suck. Come on. One raid, and they didn't even have to fire a single bullet, and they've all given up. I think the luxury's gotten to them a little bit. They need to be put back on the fucking front line to experience the horrors of Rimworld, because these guys have got too used to robots doing everything for them. We've quite literally made the Wally world here. Unbelievable. Mondo, you fucking coward. Oh, these people suck. Good God. The first thing that goes wrong, their ship was blown out of orbit. None of them cared. Oh, there's bugs. Oh, idiots. Make a bunch of the bullet storm weapons, because those just fire constantly. They kind of have the bonuses of a minigun without the detriment, that of course being the area of effect hits. So they're a bit more focused. 4,200 work. Shitting hell. Really? That seems a little steep. We'll see how that goes. With all of this other stuff giving it the bonuses, of course, it's probably not really going to take that long. We've also got those Arc-hotech toolboxes now. I realize these things actually connect to everything. Basically cover an entire room with one toolbox. So we'll see what kind of work speed bonuses they confer. Might be worth putting down a couple, but I very much doubt we'll need all 20, I believe, that can connect up. I'll go take out this smoke cloud as soon as possible. Try and cheer our people up a little bit. We'll get Don out of... sorry, Mondo. We'll let Mondo out of the prison. Who am I looking for here? Dr. Don. Let's get you to... No, you're not a warden, are you? Oh, he actually is. Wow. You can let Mondo go or not. Release. And Dr. Don, you can kick Mondo out. Does Dr. Don not have a bedroom? Why is he sleeping in the snow? Stank unowned. Oh, he's just being an idiot. Well, that's about on par for Dr. Don, isn't it? This is why you lost your friggin' medical license. Starting to get some real acceleration now with the Arco matter. It's starting to, already starting to snowball out of control. So I'm going to let them do that. I'm going to walk away. I'm just going to go make a drink or something, and I'll see what progress they get up to by the time we get back. Or maybe everything will be on fire. I'm not entirely sure. Plasteel right now is the limiting factor, strangely enough. I could crank the drills up, I guess. I think they're already on max. Oh, they're not on max output, but they could be... some are? What the fuck's going on there? Top row is? I have no idea. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and just crank all these up to maximum. We've got the power to do so. You know, realistically, if these are on 6,700 watts, it's another number to take them to maximum there. So it really makes no difference to the power grid at all. It's a marginal difference. Let's put it that way. The 425 there. How much we got until? Let's just zoom out and see if we can. 705. Oh wow. Okay. That puts us probably within striking range to be able to do something towards the new ship. let's go for, firstly, the research toolboxes. I want to make the base as good as possible before we move on to space again. So let's get that done first, because those are 50 apiece. Okay, well, that's easy. We got plenty of change from that as well. We do have the, of course, the workbench bonuses as well, don't we? The toolboxes, but I'm not entirely sure that's worth it, because we're not going to be doing that too frequently. We've got the assemblers for that, right? What else have we got here? We've got, like, I mean, the Ultra-Tech heat cores, 1,000 apiece. There's got to be a better way to make Arc-matter than that, right? And there's also this Arc-matter reactor. Fueled by special automatic fuel pods. Burn down your entire ship. Well, we don't really care about that too much, because we could just put it outside in the snow for powering our base. We want to get rid of this whole bloody room. It's 2,000 Arc-matter. That's going to take a little bit of saving up until we finish the rest of this. I still think we need to kind of just wait a little while to at least build some up and, of course, finish the rest of it off there. Let's see what this thing does, actually. The Arc-matter power cell. Says it produces an enormous amount of power, but is extremely sensitive to heat and damage. So we could just put it, like, there. What's going to damage it there, realistically? Maybe a mechanoid wanders in and punches it once or twice? Ooh, what's that? Steel Arc-hotech nanoconstructor. I have a feeling we need to put down some of these as well then, huh? Releases it a small dispenser fed with Arc-matter that releases in its small like form. It's to reconstruct just about anything around it. What does that mean? Oh, look, it covers an area. Automatically rebuilds maybe damaged structures. That would be pretty powerful if that's the case. You just stick one of those by our kill box and it would never fall apart. Right, okay, see, I don't know how to build the nano kits. That's what I'm after right now. If we can work out how to do that, we can put down something. God knows what I'm trying to put down. We need that to be able to build the power cells, I would assume? I don't remember. The hive mind, I think I wanted to at least test out. Architect workbench. Fabricate some Arc-jazz. That seems to be something we need to do. We'll go ahead and put that in there then. Those are fueled with the advanced components? What the fuck are they doing there? I don't think they are. 300% each. That's quite powerful. Toolboxes give a 500% work speed bonus. What the fuck? Maybe that's because maybe like the Arc-hotech stuff has such an incredibly massive amount of work necessary for them. I guess we'll wait and see. But if we want to fabricate ourselves some new armor, say, for example, I do go for that marine armor idea, save the EVA suits. Oh, I guess we want the insulation, though, don't we, around here? Right, we want to make Arc-matter fuel pods to see what this thing does. So let's go ahead and until X, where X is, I don't know, 5. I don't want to waste too much Arc-matter. We've got the Zero Crystal, and then we've got the Inferno Crystal. Okay, and then we've got Ascended Arc-matter fuel pods as well. I just want to see how much power this thing can produce, basically. There we go, and 30,000 watts. Wow, that's really good. That's insane. Imagine that in this same area. I mean, these things produce 15,000 watts a piece, and then what, 4x5? So in that same zone, we could be into the millions of watts. That would be absurd. It's for 39 days as well. So the actual amount of time the fuel takes is obviously a lot lower compared to these. It's very low maintenance by comparison. We need more Arco fuel production before we can go for something like that. I want to test it as well, see how much we can produce over the period of like 5 days or something like that. Gives us kind of a budget to work with. It's worth pointing out as well that this does work. It does automatically sort that out there, so this is what we could have applied instead of using the hauling bots. We were actually talking about this in Discord last night, but there are certain things you could do to really help with the frame rate, like, for example, not using hauling bots and instead using this stuff, which would be infinitely better. But that does actually work. You can pull straight from storage like that, which is quite good. So I could have everything being poured into there, and then we could just output the kind of crops into this one instead. That way you're saving the hauling bots a shitload of jobs. But after we've got this dealt with, you know, after we've got most of the ship built too, we'll probably dump the hauling bots permanently, because they are quite laggy, and our people don't really have much to do. Well, that's certainly going a lot faster. It's still going to take a bloody long time, though. We are going up to 9 million research, so this could take a couple of days. Actually, I don't know. We're cracking through that in no time, huh? That is with the Arc-matter Arco research bench, and then we've also got the 5 research toolboxes. We could do with another one of those. With 2 people working on it, maybe even 3 or 4, it would go Actually, in no time at all. The next thing I want to build is the meat growers and the algae grower, wherever the hell that is. I know it's on here somewhere. There is the algae farm. I assume that's more effective than growing them in hydroponics the way we were before. And certain recipes also call for it as well. I don't remember what I was just looking at, but one of them requires raw algae. I can't remember where I saw it now. One of these builds anyway required that, so it'd be worth just getting some... Ah, there it is. Yeah, the hypercapacitors, 500 raw Arc-hotech algae. So it'd be worth just getting some of that in preparation for maybe future research that might also rely on that. But this one going into ground input, so now if I hit the toggle pulling button... Hey, there we go. Automatic Arc-hotech collection as well. Fantastic. Or not. You son of a bitch. We're almost finished with the Arco farm here. I did have to tear the walls off the building because I realized that these things actually aren't pathable. So it's a good job I did put down these vacuum hoppers. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to get to algae that say appeared. Algae? No. What do these things make? Whatever they make. Arco matter. That's right. That say appeared over here. They wouldn't have been able to get to it. So these things were actually the only way to make this work, which was pretty fortunate there. How much have we got right now? Show me my Arco matter. We're looking at 3,435. God damn. I've done a bit of testing with some of the other stuff as well to see how useful it is, see how viable it is. Specifically, the Arco algae farm versus just growing them in hydroponics basins. And I'll be honest, the hydroponics basins blow them out of the water. Even just the artificial ecosystems with a cultivator, it's so much faster. Unless you have, I guess, a shitload of these. But even then, they take up 5,000 watts a piece. So these, bit useless. So there are these meat growers as well that you fuel with algae and that turns it into meat. But there is also the meat lab. Now, these things are great because they let you grow chicken or pork or beef, which is pretty great. I don't know if the Aronis meat is needed for something very particular, but we can also grow those in hydroponics. So these are both functionally... null and void, basically. I don't know what would be the benefit of using those over any of the other stuff, but we're gonna get rid of those. That was a test to see how they worked, but they didn't really match up to everything else we've got. So I think we'll test the Arco matter reactor next. I'm a little bit apprehensive about testing this one because I feel like it's the recipe of a disaster, but hey, we'll go ahead and swap out these for one of those. We'll put it in the center there, and kind of just see how it fares, really. Tasty beef. Looks ready to go. But yeah, we could just put down a bunch of those, and again, it's 100 watts each, and the growth rate is 700%. I suppose it depends really what we get out of it here. Chicken is the fastest growing, pork is middle, so medium yield, medium growing speed, and then beef is low growing time, but highest yield. I should say high growing time, really, shouldn't I? So we'll see what that's like in a second. Obviously, we could throw those into... I assume we could throw those with some of these, the IO ports. The sprinklers, too, actually might affect that. Okay, there we go. I'm interested in what sort of power this thing's going to pop out, especially if it has overdrive levels as well. That'd be pretty insane. For kind of super emergency situations, being able to crank out however many thousands of watts this thing, I assume, produces would be pretty fantastic. It does. It's not fuel quality. It uses the regular Arco cells, the things that we were also using for that one there. Can we get someone refueling that straight away? And not science refueling? Sure, yeah, one of the robots is on it. How many watts? That's a lot of watts. That's 9 million watts. With overdrive 1, it's 18 million watts. Oh, that single-handedly blows the entire power grid out of the water. That's... That's ridiculous. Overdrive 2 takes us up to 27 million watts, and I assume it'll be 36 million watts. Yes, it is. Definitely do not do that, though. I think we're okay. My God, the heat. My God, the heat that that thing produces. Right, okay. Quick. Very fast. Take the doors off. Take the doors off. Somebody please take the doors off. There we are. Good as new. Not a problem. And it still works fine, even with the... Yeah, it's all good. So there's absolutely no downsides to that reactor now. 18 million watts excess too is fucking insane. What the hell are we going to do with that? We've got a test, and we can actually run a field test of this on the planet too. Well, actually I guess we really can't because, of course, vacuum mechanics work slightly differently. But anyway, we could test a sealed room with a reactor and how much we would need in terms of cooling to make it effective. And we could build like a little ship to start off with to really get a feeling for the new guns and things like that. These things are actually pretty cheap for us to build. Bear in mind, the only thing on that is the time limit it takes for the Arc-matter to be shit out. But in the real time limit on building a lot of things associated with this is the time it takes to... oh, actually, I should put that one first, shouldn't I? It's really the time it takes to haul the resources over. Why don't we try putting down a Sub-Zero cooler and 20 Arc-matter algae? We really don't have that, huh? It's 12% grown on the Arco algae over there, but I'm almost certain we generated some, did we not? Unless it's all been cooked into meals, which is quite likely. Yeah, I did let it just go a bit butt wild on the gourmet meals, and in hindsight, I regret that, because now we've got 582. Let's go on to the gourmet meal production. Let's say no algae, I think, just so... mainly because that has so many different other applications. Let's get rid of you. We'll do the same on all of them. Okay, let's find out what these vending machines do. So we'll put one there, and then we'll put a pizza vending machine there as well. This one is 100 Arc-matter, and the other one was just like 12, something like that. I want to build this hive mind. I still don't know how to make the nano kits, though. Nano constructor. I think we'll put one of those down. I have a feeling it does pretty much exactly what I thought it might do, and then rebuild walls and stuff kind of automatically, but it might also have a secondary builds attached to it to be able to produce nano kits or something like that. So we'll see what that does for us. Outside of that, I mean, there was nothing in there, right? No. What else have I missed here? So we've got that built. We've got this one. We've got this one. Passive cooler. I mean, it could be interesting to see how effective that is. I can't see anything else that potentially produce these kits. Unless it's something... Oh, what about you? Hang on. Buy Arcotherium. Buy Meaty Arona Stew. Oh, that's a clever idea. Oh, man. Arcotherium. Look at that. I assume that's the same as... Fucking hell. As Luciferium, in that if you don't take it, you die in 6.3 days. Never safe. Yeah, it is the same as Luciferium in that case. The bonuses, though, are absolutely insane. Oh my god, we could churn out these automatically. Arc-light torpedoes. Torpedo tipped with an Arc-matter warhead, the deadliest weapon in existence. Extremely so because an Arco-nuclear explosion annihilating anything it touches, except probably that drone that we fought last time. Can be fired from torpedo tubes, explodes when damaged. I think a ship to definitely try and build would be just a torpedo-based ship. Just like a torpedo boat or something like that. How do I build your nano kits then? Show me. Could be under nanotech. In fact, that makes a lot of sense. Unlocks nano kit. Bollocks. So I don't know what this thing does, and we can't find out for a little while then. That's okay. Do we need anything else? Yes, to build the Ultratech heat cores, we need nano kits. So it's going to be a shitload of research. In that case... Let's do a shitload of research then. And go. Right, I've got the 6 best researchers, if you can call them that, on research. I'll also go ahead and kind of kill off any other jobs they've got lined up here. There we are. Sorry, Welsh Dave, you're no longer going to craft. That should get us to the last of this research, I think, at a pretty decent speed. I know they're all kind of terrible there, too. But with all 6 of them working on it, or 7 of them working on it there, even if they are bad at research, it should be decently fast. Seems to be... Oh, I mean, it is decently fast. There's no debate about that. So give them a couple of days to get this stuff done. And it looks like we've got a load more stuff we can build there. Weapons and armor upgrades. I think it's probably a safe bet that the Arco armor is almost certainly EVA gear too, right? My god. They finally done it. Nanotech should take about 2 seconds compared to that. Good lord. Bear in mind, it's 18 times less research. So this should be... Well, not quite. But this should be so much faster. And then we're there. Then I'm more than happy to start designing the new ship, Joris 2.0, ready for our newly optimized space adventures with all this crazy overpowered shit, ready to be immediately blown out of the sky by the first ship that we meet. We'll admit, this is getting a little bit frequent. Constant beeps as we get more Arco-matter is to be fair, we've still only got just shy of 4,000 there, and if we want to build another one of these to throw onto a ship, which we definitely do, it's slightly more than that. I don't quite know. I think when we blast it into orbit, we're going to have to turn it off immediately, aren't we? We're going to have to make sure it's off before we blast into orbit, otherwise it's just going to... I mean, it's just going to be cataclysmic. Because it said that this thing... Did it say this thing... Hang on, it didn't say this thing was sensitive to heat. It said the other one. Meant to cool into run properly. Yeah, see, this is what I'm thinking. When we move into orbit, obviously the cooler won't be active yet. So we need to make sure that's turned off. We need to make sure the capacitor is decently charged. I hope they don't discharge when they get into orbit. Otherwise, we are fucked. Oh, look at that. That's so much better. Even in this, you got to bear in mind, it's still 50,000 research. Sorry, 500,000 research. And we are good. There we are. Modify tech for more compact builds. And then we can go for Arc-hotech Absolution. That's going to take a bloody long time, but we might as well queue it up. And then we've got Arc-matter Ascension at the very end there. Okay, so seeing as we're going for something absolutely ludicrous now, I want construction to be the highest priority still. With the exception of, I will say, oh, well, Hoax is also one of our best builders. Nah, fuck it, the ship comes first. So what do we got now then? We do have a spinal barrel dominator. Spinal laser that focuses several, or a spinal weapon that focuses several superheated plasma bolts into one large sphere. That sounds incredible. Okay, what else did we get here? Nanotech heatsink. That's a new one, but is that better than the Ultratech heat core? Very much doubt it. Bearing in mind the cost of this compared to that. Okay, fair enough. What have we unlocked here? Slag turret, that's a new one. Someone came up with a turret to shoot off superheated slag mixed with Arc-matter. Oh, that's quite fun. Accurate medium ranges are very deadly. Okay, we can throw a couple of those on. They're not massive. Okay, that's fine. What else we got here? Nanotech neutron turret. Heavy shield breaker. Oh, now that combined with torpedoes I think could be devastating. Nanotech starburst cannon. Goes through everything. Okay, fantastic. You've got a depleter turret there. Takes no heat but a lot of energy. It's an EMP, I guess, for, again, taking out shields. Oh, that's quite cool that we've got some weapon variety in that regard. Okay, so a lot of new weapons came with that one then. Not sure why you'd ever build this one over this one unless it's not functioning in a vacuum. I didn't know if there was something that maybe gave it the edge. But I can't see any real difference. I guess the 1,000 Arc-matter could be quite the difference. I still have absolutely no idea how to make nano kits. No bloody clue. I'm going to have to Google that. Oh, actually, before I check, let's just make sure it didn't just get added onto... Ah, there you go. Right. 200 Arc-matter and 200 plasteel. Well, let's do that until X, where X is... makes 10. Do it until it's 100. That seems fine. I want to make one of those for each person. Fuck me, those are expensive. Is there a more effective way to make Arc-matter? I suppose we could salvage it from ships. That did quite well. But the only thing I'm concerned about, right, is we're not really producing it fast enough to keep up with these kind of exorbitant costs that we've got coming up here. Like, making everybody a set of that Arco gear would take days. Like, real life days. How much we got in storage right now? Let's take a look. Let's just do something like that. 4,139. So we don't even have enough for a single set of Arco armor. Wow. Right, forget about that then. Sod that. Let's focus on the ship side of things first. Let's go into space and let's just steal other people's Arc-matter. I think that's the right way to go about it. This might be the only resource that we can't really scum up. I think I'm going to have to expand this. I think we're going to have to kind of blueprint this structure and just rebuild it. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to build a spaceship. But for tonight, my evening is basically just going to be building quite a few Arc-matter combiners, and then we'll have everything we need tomorrow to build just a dumb spaceship, and then see what we can do with it. Bear in mind, with that, we could build things like the Arc-matter shielded ship hull, preferably not the powered version. We'll go for this one. And we'll see kind of what we can do with it. How many hit points have these things got? Oh, a smooth 2 million. Wait, that is 2 million. Holy shit. A slight upgrade then from our previous ship. We just need the resources to actually be able to fuel it now. Ooh, nanotech shield generator. What the hell are you? Tiny generator which projects a momentum repulsor field, enhanced EMP resistance. Oh, okay. Well, we'll take a look at that. I didn't notice that one, to be honest with you. I completely overlooked it. Well, there's a lot to see then. Right, cool. I'll get all the resources together. Then tomorrow we can start planning out and hopefully get a new ship into orbit basically straight away. The coffee lists are a bit of a mess, obviously, from where it's the final month and everything, and where they do the tiered list system. Also, the fact that I've been away for the weekend too really hasn't helped things here and pre-recording shit. So I apologize if there are double shout-outs or triple shout-outs or weird shout-outs in the wrong order or anything like that. But if I think after today it should reset anyway, so I don't think I'll worry about it too much. But in the meantime, a big thank you goes out to Devorda, Scott L, The Monk, Christian Blue, Dave Ash, I Stab Cows, Moira, Emily, Alex, Mr. Moma, Sideshow C, Layla, Callum James 3, Ellaby, Dumgit, Bwengun, One of Daz, and everyone else at the executive producers here over on Coffee. Thank you guys for, again, your patience and your support in the channel for this 1 month here of Coffee for October. And thank you as well to Ribbit, Pantherpel, Athon, Monster, Noisiest Dungeon, Dancing Lucifer, Conchwabi, Groggy, Ray Karinga, Sanet Lover, Madness, Elnada, Stormcrower, Pirate Seeker, and Ultra Spider 2000 as well for their support. Rimworld in the background is freaking out, and I think we're being raided. So I'm going to just pause it, and we'll see what's happening tomorrow.